And we are live. And of course, we're not going to have anybody signed in just yet, but we will have some folks that will come back and watch it on the other end once it's uploaded. So we are part of Metal Alliance. This is being hosted by me, Tim from Vinyl Vengeance. We've got Tim, that thrash metal guy, 79 to what would look like my right, and George from George G's Room of Rock. If you do not have subscriptions to those guys' channels, do it. Great content. Love watching their stuff. And if you folks are like me, like seeing what other people have, check them out. So this evening, for those that are watching in the States, we are going to be sharing 15 of, I guess, what would be some of our favorite live albums, where I think we decided we weren't going to necessarily do it in an order from 15 to number one, even though you guys can, we can do whatever we want, but I know mine is kind of mixed up. And so, yeah, I'm going to share out some great live concert albums. And we're going to get right to it. I think what we'll do is we'll go, George kind of got stiffed last time we did a video and he had to do this remotely. We couldn't get him in. So we're going to let George start and we will go counterclockwise. So we'll go from George to Tim and then I'll be the third one.
All right. That's cool. Well, I picked some live albums that I never talked about before, but so I had, my favorites, but these are still all good ones. But I figured I'd start off with this one. Iron Maiden, Beast Over Hammersmith, on the box set that's behind me. The first tour with Bruce, and it's a fantastic live one.
Yeah.
That's I know they released this, individually. So this is from that box set which came out in like 2001. But they had, you guys, either one of you have this?
I have that box set. Such a good box set.
But they released one of the versions of Number of the Beast. They put this on as a double vinyl or something like that.
Yeah.
Triple vinyl.
Yep. Few years back. Yeah.
Great. I heard it. And they basically do almost that entire album. The Number of the Beast came on there.
Absolutely. And they do they do Total Eclipse too, which should have been on the original album anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
But one of their best songs in my opinion. Written with Paul Di'Anno too, so that's kind of who he wrote that too. Anyway,
I've been meaning to put that box set back out. I need to do that. It's been a while. That the B sides, I believe it's two CDs of all the B sides, and
great
there too.
I'd love to get my hands on that B side one.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with Maiden, and I know that it's available on CD. I don't have it. I don't think they ever pressed it on vinyl, but the 92 Donington Show. So I bought this actually overseas. I want to say maybe in France, and that was my problem because their VCR speed is not the same as our VCR speed. So I could never actually watch it. And so it was many years later, with the advent of YouTube and all that, I actually was able to watch the whole concert on YouTube. So, but I mean, it has what I think any live album needs to have. There's a few things that it's got to have. One, it's got to have a great set list. And for the majority, if you like a band, their live album's pretty much going to have a great set list anyway. Got to have good production. You got to be able to hear everything. And, I could name plenty of live albums I've heard that either the one guitar is not loud enough, the drums are too loud, you can hardly hear the vocalist, you can't hear a lot of other stuff, or you can't hear any of the crowd at all. And if it's not from a single show, but being able to kind of like put all those live tracks together to where they kind of meld in everything, it's mixed to where it sounds like it, and it's not like the 1991 AC/DC live. I mean, you get the song and then the crowd fades out, and then you go to the next track and does that to like the whole. That's my gripe for that album, So for me, that really makes it a great, because that way it actually feels like a live experience to you. You feel like you're in the flow of a concert.
Yeah, that's why when
Yeah.
they released a real live one and a real dead one, I didn't really care for those two. They were kind of piecemeal together, and the sound wasn't consistent, and I always just didn't they didn't do anything for me.
I had one of those. I think it was the real live one. Was the one I had on CD, because I think that's the one with all the early stuff, and the real dead one was some stuff that was um, like Seventh Son on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that the European had different tape speeds. I know they had different ones for a DVD because I've gotten a couple that I couldn't play here because DVD would work in the DVD player, but I didn't know they did with VCR too. That's a new one on me.
Yeah. And then also a lot of European and other countries, their electrical outlets aren't the same as the plugs we have.
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah, that threw me in a bind when I was in the military. I had to fly out to deployment, and the hotel I was staying at, I couldn't plug in my electric razor.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's why it looks like that now.
Mhm.
All right, my first one, I'm going to start kind of mellow. We'll start with some acoustic live. Tesla.
Oh yeah.
Acoustical Jam, which some would say was the beginning of the fad of the unplugged MTV Unplugged, but obviously there was unplugged and acoustic albums long before Tesla did it. But this is a great show. I love the interplay, just the in between commentary between the songs, and a few cover songs on here.
Great picks on the cover songs too. Those are great picks. Yeah.
Lines, that kind of spurred them on a little bit, gained them some new fans, and then of course all their hits from the first two albums. So always appreciate it.
Have you heard the 5-man London Jam?
I've got that one on vinyl too.
Never heard that one.
I was disappointed that it was live in studio. I didn't realize that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I would have preferred it if it had been, like a concert.
Yep, me too. I think it was probably recorded. I would imagine it was COVID, but maybe not. That one might have been pre-COVID.
I think it was post.
Okay.
Like maybe 22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next.
You are.
Yep.
All right. I picked different ones, not just straight metal. So this one is Lynyrd Skynyrd at Nebworth. This has got the Blu-ray on it, and as well as has the story of Lynyrd Skynyrd. That they had that thing on. I forgot the name of it, but it doesn't say it. No, if I leave here tomorrow, that's it. That's the story, but also they got the whole track listing here. If you can read it or not. It's really good though, because I don't have the other. I don't have one more time for the road. I don't have that one. So this is just as good. And Skynyrd, it's a great. And this is at their prime,
Yeah.
So
I almost pulled that other Skynyrd. I didn't feel like digging that deep in the bottom.
Yeah, but can't go wrong with Skynyrd.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
So I'm going to stick with the video for another one. And this is, I don't think it's for the reunion concert, but it's part from a reunion tour. When Testament brought back Alex Skolnick, and then they had, for this particular show, they had the original lineup came back and did a few songs. This the Live from London that they did in 2005 that would end up kind of speedballing the next chapter in Testament.
Yeah, I never picked that one up.
I mean, you got the Preacher. It's all stuff pre-low. So you got the Preacher, New Order, A Haunting, Electric Crown, Sins of Omission, Souls of Black, Into the Pit, Trial by Fire, Practice What You Preach, Let Go of My World, The Legacy, Over the Wall, Raging Waters, and Disciples of the Watch.
Who was on drums for that one? Does it have-
They split the drums between
John
I
Tempest.
think Tim Pesta and Louis Clemente. He did a lot of the show as well.
Cool. All right. Well, George, I see you're Leonard Skinner, and I will raise you the Allman Brothers Band.
Oh, that's
And-
another good one.
Yeah, and this one, it's the Fillmore Concerts, which is just kind of an expanded Fillmore East. So it's got the whole Fillmore East on here, but it's a 2-disc. So it's got the 8 tracks on disc 1, and then four tracks. So you got Whipping Post at 22 minutes and the Mountain Jam at 33, which I think both of those were both. Well, I thought both of those were on the original LP, but yeah, I mean, you can't beat the original. That's back when
Yeah.
Dwayne was still in the band, and you had Dickie and Greg and Oakley, the original 6 guys. Just a classic, great Southern
Absolutely.
rock.
It's a good one. All right. This one's next one is an odd one. I'm sure you guys probably ever heard of it. Doesn't tell you what a concert was, but I can tell the tour it's from. It's Say What You Will Live from Fastway.
Yeah, great band.
Mhm.
And this is from the Waiting for the Roar tour. So, and it's good. I got it because it's only got 10 songs on it. So I don't know if it's like a full concert or not. But it's got this last song is Sex, Booze, and Rock and Roll, which is just like a sing along kind of thing. I was kind of disappointed in that. But they do like the Say What You Will, Easy Living, Steal the Show, All Fired Up, then Feel Me, Touch Me, so just stuff like that. So it's good. It's pretty good. I saw it. I got it from one of the CD stores I used to go to in the '90s. So I've had it for a while.
I still only had the first album.
That's it. You gotta get all fired up at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Trick or Treat soundtrack's pretty damn good too, in my opinion.
What about Wasted? Either of you guys have any of the Wasted?
I did listen, I think, to the first one a few months ago, but I don't have any of the Wasted stuff.
They're good too.
All right. So this one, for a brief time, was available on Amazon Music to stream, and then they took it away, which really pissed me off because I really liked this album. It's another video. This is from the Metallica box set they put out in '93. Maybe it was '94. But the Seattle concert from that box set, Seattle '89. My favorite era of Metallica. Has just a great track listing, and just part of seeing the Doris on stage was really cool. When I did have a VCR, I don't know how many times I watched that.
That was a great set.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in years because I have it actually sitting next to me. The box set my wife bought that first, so but I had the CD of that, but that one I could listen to. But the VHS, I don't have a VHS player. Haven't had that, and I couldn't even tell you when.
My brother got it with the VHS, and then years later they re-released it with the CD version. Came with all the stencil and pretty much everything that the original one.
Yeah, I got all that with that too. Yeah.
I got it like a few years after it came out, so I actually got it for a pretty sweet deal when I did buy it.
All right, I'm up. I may be stealing somebody's thunder here, but I couldn't. I really tried not to go with all the obvious ones, but this was one that just had a huge impact on me because this artist kind of scared me through in my younger years. I can remember a few people talking about him, and he scared me. But when I saw this album, it intrigued me. It was the first one I got from this artist, and I was forever in love with this live album. And
just
I'll take these live versions over the studio ones any day of the week. Love Randy Rhoads, and Blizzard of Oz is a fantastic album, and I just love the live stuff. The Sabbath stuff is a nice addition, but once again, I'd probably go back. If I want to listen to Sabbath, I'm going to go listen to Sabbath. But
Right.
hearing Randy's versions are he definitely does him justice. But yeah, just a great album, and of course the studio outtakes that Randy does with D is just jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely glad I didn't pick it because I had a feeling somebody would.
Yeah, that one for me, I could not pass that one up.
I almost picked the other one. Speak of the
Live
Devil.
Line. Oh,
Speak of the Devil.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Yeah. So
Brad Gillis on drum, or
he does a great job. If you would have been if he stayed in the band, because he really was like, I like stuff and some of the stuff Night Ranger does, but when he went in Oz, he really could. I think he showed what he could really play. He was really good.
He was.
Still good. All right. Next one is another one of those DVD / CDs, and it's Songs for the Dead from King Diamond.
Yep.
I know you have that, right, Ken?
Excellent.
I don't have any, and I don't have any live King Diamond or Merciful Fate. When I was looking through my list, I was like, man, I don't have anything live from them.
This has like two concerts on DVD, two different separate nights. One from June 17, 2015, and then November 25th, 2015. But he has help along with some of the high notes from I forgot who it is. I don't think it's his wife, but it's some young girl singing like the high parts. He can't sing the high parts as much as he, but it's a fantastic show. Into the Rock is still an underrated guitar player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think Merciful Fate really had a proper live album. They had the few songs on the Bell Witch EP. Like I haven't seen any like official live material from Merciful Fate, and that's a damn shame because I would love to get something from even if it was something just from their first 3 releases.
There's a lot of bootlegs out there, but yeah, I've not seen anything official.
Yeah,
the only thing
probably bootlegs is you're almost 9 times out of 10 guaranteed to have a crap sound.
The only thing I have it's not like it's a DVD is this version of Melissa, and it's got 3 live songs from before they were big. It has Doomed by the Living Dead, Black Funeral, and Curse of the Pharaohs. And the King's Makeup's like that real simple one with just like the circle around his eye. So that's all I have. It's really kind of primitive, but it's one that I can ever find that has them Merciful Fate live.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I've got that too.
All right, somebody else is probably going to have this one, but I don't care. I couldn't leave this one out. Got this recently. Ice Earth has been one of my favorite bands for a long time. And they have quite a few official releases out, live albums. And this one to me still sounds the best. It's the best period of the band. For me, Matt Barlow is Ice Earth, in my opinion. No shade to any of the other vocalists they've had. But Alive in Athens from '99.
I didn't pick it, but I got that one too. The 3-disc version. That's a fantastic show. Great pick there, Tim.
Such a great concert.
I don't have the 3-disc version. I only had the 2 CD part. But I only paid $12 for it, so
you can't beat that. I got the DVD of that one too, which is cool to see it all live.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because they kind of splice it together. The DVD, because the bass player is wearing a shirt. He's not wearing a shirt. He's wearing a shirt again. He's not wearing a shirt. It's like, what are they doing? Did anyone put this together and think about it? No. But still, the concert was great. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Good pick.
Yeah.
I had that one, but I got some backups, so it's all good. All right, my next one, Blue Oyster Cult. And this is Extraterrestrial Live, which was from '82, and I'm sure some of the fans might go with their first live one or Some Enchanted Evening.
I almost did.
I go with this one just because it's got it's got more of the songs. It's got more songs on it. It's a longer album than Some Enchanted, and it's it's got the ones that I was most familiar with, and the Red and the Black, and ETA, Godzilla, Black Blade, which I always like that song. Burning for You, just a great album, and of course this one's the gatefold, so it's got the lyrics and the cool photo on the inside, or drawing, not photo.
I almost brought out my copy of the first one, but the cover is not exactly in great shape, so I didn't. And Some Enchanted Evening is more like a live EP. There's not. You would figure for as much of a catalog as they had at that time, they could have maybe, I don't know if they had pressure to get something put out or whatever. A lot of times, live albums are really more the record label's idea.
Yeah.
So you just never know with those things.
Plus, during that time, Some Enchanted Evening, I think they were opening for Kiss at I think around that time they could have had a shortened amount of time on stage too.
Yeah, I don't know. 7 songs short though. I mean,
you would hope not.
I would think that they were just as established as Kiss at that point.
Yeah. I mean, they toured with Sabbath. I don't remember what year that was when they did the Black. What was
Black and Blue tour? Black and Blue.
I think that was 80 or 81.
Okay.
When Dio was in the band.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But, well, it's funny you mentioned that one because I actually picked Some Enchanted Evening.
Now, is that the CD and the DVD copy?
Yes, that's the one with the extra songs. It's got 14 live tracks. So
too.
Yeah, so it's a legacy edition. And I don't know why, but Under Feet and Our Knees is good, but I always like this one better. The one you showed is also good, but this one I like better. I don't know why. But this is my go-to for live POC. So this one, I guess, the other one has like you said, 7 songs. This one also has Harvester of Eyes, Hot Rails to Hell, which is a great tune. And This Ain't the Summer of Love, and of course Born to Be Wild. How many bands freaking covered Born to Be Wild? Could probably do a whole show on them that did that.
Even Slayer covered them for like some NASCAR soundtrack or something.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my next one is I'm going to go the acoustic route, and I know George has this. I'm going with the Kiss Unplugged.
Yeah, good choice.
One of my absolute favorite albums. This album, I mean, this is just like a pure jam session. I really think that I've said it many times. I think Paul Stanley's probably somewhere in my top 10 vocalists of all time, and I really think he showed why on this album. Like, he just belts out everything, and the holding of the longer notes on "I Still Love You" and stuff like that. Just a pure magical thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, and that one I definitely could have grabbed too. I had the Unplugged, or I have the Unplugged DVD, the live. But if you guys really want to see the full show, you've got to get the Kissology Volume 3, because one of the 3 DVDs has the full, or it's 5 DVDs, I think, has the full show. It's got extras, and it's got all the songs that they didn't include in the original.
Does it show? Because I saw this somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Does it have where they've had the mess ups? Because I think there was the beginning of Domino.
Yes.
I think Gene got shot and messed up. He's looking like
it was Gene. Gene messed up.
Yeah, he's like, don't tell anybody, and then which makes you wonder how many mess ups on other Unplugged things happen where they edited them out and stuff.
I love that though. I love being at a show where you actually see them, mess up and they stop and they're like, let's do that over, because that's real life, and it just shows that they're human. Even some of these virtuoso, musicians, that things don't always go as planned.
Right. That also DVD shows the rehearsals for that.
I guarantee you always get an authentic show at a Guns N' Roses concert.
Yeah.
Because somehow, somewhere, Axel's getting mad at somebody, whether it's
Oh,
in
yeah.
or his own band.
Crowd. Beat
Yeah.
somebody's head in.
Yeah.
True that. All right, my next. I could not do a live discussion without including something from Dio, and of course, I had heard all the studio albums long before I got my hands on this, but this is Live in Munich, 1977, Rainbow.
Awesome. I got that one too. That's a great one.
For only 7 songs, that thing is so long because they go on like just epic like jams on those things. And it's like, yeah, like you see the track list, it's 7 songs. Oh, it's probably 35, 40 minutes. No, it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah. There was Catch the Rainbow at 18 plus minutes. Man on the Silver Mountain, they pushed that one out to 16. Still I'm Sad.
5-minute song that's 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this has promo videos and it has interviews. So Eagle Vision. So anybody watching, if you're into Dio and you don't have this, definitely.
There was another live one from the Dio area, something on stage. Yeah.
I think CD and vinyl, maybe
Yeah.
that. I don't know if that's ever been, if that one was released on DVD.
I don't know.
Let's see. This one was Richie, of course, Richie Blackmore, because he was the only guitar player. Ronnie, Cozy Powell, Bob Daly, and then I guess David Stone on keyboards.
Good one. All right. My next one is kind of a new one I got, I don't know, maybe a few months back. But Testament live in Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Is it Eindhoven? I sorry. See, you can tell me the right way.
That's from.
You know the album. Now I don't have to explain it. Pretty bare bones kind of, CD here. This is all you get. It's kind of like disappointing in that regard, but it's a good one. It's got that song "Reign of Terror," which I never heard before. So
I think that's a fleshed out version of the original EP that came out. So that's the one to get because you get more of the tracks on it.
Yeah, because I think the EP's got like 5.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking at that earlier today. When I was looking at the Testament, or looking at the Legacy runtime, make sure I have enough time before the show to finish listening to it. And then I just get the Leiden and the Eindhoven where it was like next to us. I clicked it to see how long it was, and it really wasn't long.
Cool.
All right. Speaking of Guns N' Roses, so this is so like I mentioned before, when you have multiple shows on a live album, it's really key to be able to mix everything correctly. But it's also even especially more key where you're doing multiple shows over multiple years. And they put this out in what year they put this out? This was in like 2000 something, I think, when this came out. They're 99. Their live era 87 to 93. 2-disc album that covers just about every song you could think of. They even do a cover of "It's All Right," the Black Sabbath song. They have just it's excellent in my opinion. My only gripe with my copy is I had a copy before, but this one, when I bought it again, I didn't realize it was edited. And the funny thing is, it seems to want to edit only certain words, but other words that are just as questionable were left in. But since I know this thing, it's just one of those albums I know, top, bottom, inside and out from my memory, I can deal with it.
I've never heard that one before. Never got my hands on it, but I did notice that just recently they were doing, I think, pre-orders for the vinyl version. I don't know.
I didn't know they had vinyl version.
Yeah,
well, that'd be nice. Hopefully, it's not edited.
Now, if that's a 2 CD set, I would imagine that the vinyl would probably have to be 4 if they were doing the full track list.
Or 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
So yeah, if
I
I
got
come
that one.
across the vinyl, I may grab it.
I haven't listened to that one in a long time, but I have it though.
All right, next up for me, I remember I was on vacation when I picked this up on CD. Was with my friend and his mom, and we were going to the Poconos, and we stopped off somewhere, a mall, and went to a music store. And I didn't have anything else by this band. Didn't really know much about them, but the album cover intrigued me, and I fell in love with the album, and that just led me to buy at least the studio and all the live stuff. I don't have all their singles, and it'd be hard to track down everything by this band, but Wasp,
Oh,
Live in the Raw, and
Nice.
love, love, love. Sleeping in the Fire, for it being what kind of a ballad, but not really. The Manimal, that actually, I think I had heard that song on a comp prior to getting this, but I wasn't familiar with any of the other tracks on here. Even Scream Until You Like It, the studio song from Ghoulies 2, Harder, Faster. I I love Blackie's intros to the songs, and would love to be that's another one I don't have. I've got obviously a few of the live albums. I've never come across any footage from the 80s, a DVD. I think it would be great if they went back and dipped into the archives and did a career, even if they just focused on the 80s, just some live stuff and interviews. I'd love to be able to see footage from those maybe first 4 albums live.
Yeah,
have you seen them live at all? Either one of you?
I saw them just a few years ago with Armored Saint, and they were fun.
Cool.
They were great, but yeah, to be able to go back and see them when Chris Holmes was in the band, that if Time Machine, I'd go back and check them out.
My first album was actually the Double Live Assassins that came out in I think it was '98.
Yeah,
when that came out
too.
Yeah, I saw them live with Chris Holmes when he came back in the band for the KFD album.
Yeah.
And this was and I saw him no, it was for the other one, Eldorado. And this was right after the Great White thing where the fire happened.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And he comes out, and they were at a small club, my friend Mike, and we're in the front there, and also he comes out and lights up the Wasp logo, and we're like, oh my God, we're going up the flames. Because it was a small stage to the ceiling. I'm like, oh my God. We look back and be like, oh, but we're never getting out of here.
Yeah.
But it was like crazy. It was so hot. I was like, holy crap, that was great though. So yeah.
That
good show. Yeah.
That KFD album got a lot of hate, and I don't understand. I mean, I understand why, because it wasn't like the classic Wasp album. I loved it. Sometimes going the route that they went, the industrial route, doesn't work. But I thought they did it really well.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that's a very good album. Very underrated.
Yep, agreed.
Cool. This one here is band that reunited twice, I think, 3 times in their whole lifetime. But when they did this one, they finally did it right. Led Zeppelin, Celebration Day.
Yeah.
2007, and I loved it. I was like so happy to get this and to hear it. Even though Robert Kent couldn't sing as high as he used to, but he does a good job doing it in different key. And every classic song in there, I just thought it was fantastic. I just absolutely love the album, DVD, and the whole thing.
I mean, who else? There's nobody else that would be able to fill that drum stool. But
no, exactly. But his son, yeah, he's great. Absolutely love that. Love Led Zeppelin. My favorite band ever.
A healthy Bill Ward could have done it.
Oh, there's plenty of drummers who could do it.
Right.
There's nobody else who is.
There's only one that made sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Wolfgang's the only person that made sense to come in and play bass when they didn't bring in Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
Keeping with the CD route, and I'm going with Anthrax Live from their Persistence of Time tour. They also have, I guess, Public Enemy went out with them for a little run as well. So they've got their Bring the Noise collaboration on here as well. So absolutely love. I mean, you start off with NFL, which is one of my favorite songs of theirs. AIR cover of Kiss's Parasite, Keep It in the Family, Caught in a Mosh, Indians, Antisocial, Bring the Noise, I'm the Law, Metal Thrashing Mad, In My World, and Now It's Dark. I know like the last few, I think were taken from like a radio show broadcast, I think. The production isn't the greatest, but it's still listenable.
I never got my hands on that one either. I was thinking about Anthrax. All I have is the live with Bush. And then a bootleg. I've got a bootleg record, but they're overdue for a good live album.
I got that in a lot of CDs off eBay. I think I got let's see. I think
live in Chile, however you pronounce it. I think a couple of years back.
I want to get that Kings Among Scotland, the one that's got the rock and roll over style cover.
That's right. Forgot about that one too.
I'd love to get me a copy of that one.
Yeah. So I guess they've got a few. I need to get on that.
I got the same one, but I picked that, but that's gonna be my I got another one to go with. But I got this free in a dumpster. Someone threw away a guy's whole CD collection in a dumpster.
Wow.
And a friend of ours was walking by, throwing his water out, and he called up and said, George, you gotta come over. And the guy threw his whole CD, I mean, perfect condition, stacked. Maybe a girlfriend got pissed off at her boyfriend and threw all his crap away. But Big Ted took so much stuff. And, this was a couple of years ago. I was like, this whole collection, all these old metal, all these old Maiden, the Dio, and Metallica. And I'm like, this guy threw everything away in the dumpster. I was like, oh my God, who would do that to somebody?
I got mine in a CD lot off of eBay because I got, I think, Spreading the Disease, Steady Euphoria, the On the Man EP, the Killer Bees album, and I think there's like 7-8 CDs that I got like all at once off the lot. It was like maybe $25 for all of them.
Can't beat that.
Absolutely not.
Next up, Accept, Staying Alive. Still
haven't gotten that yet.
And I had this one on CD, but it was one CD. It was missing a bunch of the tracks. So when Music on Vinyl repressed it and it had the full set list, that was a no-brainer. Not a cheap purchase, but
I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, I might have paid, I don't know, $35, $40, but it was worth it. I think that the Europe version, the CD, you can get the full track, but let's see. I don't know if I wrote down. So this one was released in 1990. I do not know if it was from one show or if it was kind of pieced together, but of course it has, all the great songs from, I would say, their second album through to probably Balls to the Wall. Or no, what was the one that came after?
Metal Heart?
Yeah, because Metal Heart's the opening track. So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Probably from that tour.
So, yeah, I mean, I could have gone with a Priest album, but I thought maybe one of you two guys would go that route, so I thought Accept would be my contribution here.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I got to get that one. It's just one I'm missing from there. I have all the studio stuff. It's that live one. Whoever tells me to get it, I haven't gotten it yet.
Classic.
Awesome. All right, this one, I actually thought this was a bootleg, but then it says it comes out from DMG. But it is Deep Purple, Live to California Jam. And this has got a whole 7 songs on it. But Deep Purple just drags them out too, man. This has got Burn. This has Burn. What's that?
I guess it's a Richie Blackmore thing.
Yeah.
The drag songs out.
Yeah, this one has Burn, Might Just Take Your Life, Mistreated, Smoke on the Water, You Fool No One, The Mule, and Space Trucking. The Space Trucking they could both put on for a half an hour.
Yeah.
into that stuff live, man. But I don't mind. I don't mind the jam stuff though. But yeah, it's pretty good though. It's pretty decent sound quality. So the Coverdale Hughes era there of the band. So
I've always wondered
although
what other
Cover
bands.
doesn't sing the Gillan stuff, but still good though.
I've wondered what other bands. There's live footage and some releases from Sabbath there, but the sound quality is good on both the Purple and the Sabbath. So
Yeah,
some other good bands that played that show. I don't know if it was a 1 year thing or if it happened over a number of years.
All right, this is going to be my last acoustic one. Alice in Chains, fantastic acoustic set.
Yeah.
You could really feel, even especially if you got to ever watch the concert, you could feel Lane going downhill. Like it was like obviously not a secret. You could hear it in his voice, and he still pulled everything off. But you could just tell, like it probably wasn't going to be long, for him. And I still remember where I was the day I found out that when he died. I was actually in the Navy, and I was doing I was at a training that I had to go for a week, and I came in, and the instructor was like, "I thought you would be in mourning right now." I'm like, "Why?" And then he told me, and I was like, "Is there any way I could go home? Any way I can leave for the day?" He's like, "Unfortunately, I can't, but I'll take everything into context for you today." I was like, "Okay, sure." That's like the best I could get from him. And then for it to be so
Well,
creepy that he died on the exact same day, just like 8 years later, than Kurt Cobain was like really creepy too.
yeah, it's weird.
Heroin sucks. That's just bad. I mean, obviously, there's lots of other bad drugs out there too, but I've been watching some documentaries on jazz, the history of jazz, and the number of jazz musicians that got messed up on that junk, and a bunch of them died from it. It's
Ray Charles somehow was able to kick it.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, obviously, look at the guys from Motley Crue. There's a bunch of, and the Stones, and a bunch of people that are.
I remember
through it.
I remember watching an interview with Lemmy, and he said the one thing he would never do is heroin. He said because he saw too many of his friends die because of it.
Yeah. Terrible
And
stuff.
if Lemmy's not going to do it, it's got to be bad.
Yeah,
he did everything else.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Yeah, good old Lemmy. All right, my next one up is Symphonic. I battle between Metallica and Dream Theater, but I ended up choosing Dream Theater. So this is Score, 20th Anniversary World Tour live with the Octavarium Orchestra, released in '96. And I just felt like Dream Theater kind of, the whole orchestra thing worked to me a little bit better with them. And the good thing about this show is it wasn't 100% all with the orchestra. The first disc is 8 tracks.
That's a long album.
It is. It's 3 discs. And then you've got the first track with the orchestra is the 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. So that alone is 41 minutes. And then you have 3 other tracks. And then you have Octavarium and Metropolis, which are on the third. So good luck getting through all 3 discs, in one sitting.
No, you got to break that one up in pieces.
Yeah.
Why are you taking 3 days vacation? There's a live album I need to get through.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the case with a lot of their live stuff. It's, any of their, I've got a good number of their live albums, and it takes some time. You have to have patience to be into prog. And I teach third graders, so that tells you right there.
When you have patience, my son, because there's absolutely no way in the world I could do that.
Yeah, I'm 25 years in and I haven't murdered anybody. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be brought up on charges in like the first week.
try teaching 16-year-olds how to drive every day for 25 years.
yeah, the
They
driving
would
thing.
probably be on charges on that 2 hours in.
I wouldn't have fingernails. I'd probably chew my nails off.
That's crazy. That's funny.
That's why the beard is so gray.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. That's what my beard is too. I don't bring it in. It's not up here. It's all here. That's what that's why I shave I shave.
Yeah, still got some dark hair.
There you go. Tim, we won't never know really what we think. He might have dark hair, but you never know. Anyway, the next one I got. The next one I got is I bought a best stuff from this band, and nothing else I could find from them at the time back in the mid '90s. But I did find this one. Lizzie Borden, the Murderous Metal Road Show.
Nice.
17 songs. I mean, the two of them are studios, but it's a great live set. You know, I mean, Lizzie Borden was like, I don't know, like heavy metal and glam and just shock rock and all in one. You know, especially back then. I mean, all the songs on here are just fantastic.
To me, bands like Lizzie Borden and Wasp are just as metal as Maiden.
Yeah, they just look different. Yeah, I agree.
It's an unfortunate product because of looks I think are more important in the States than they are, in Europe. I mean, it took Sabbath. Not Sabbath. It took Priest how many years before they, basically created the official metal uniform? I mean, they were going up there, like, I've seen footage of Beyond the Realms of Death with Rob Halford basically wearing what looked like a night robe on stage. I think around here, I think the looks and everything, the aesthetics more important. And just unfortunately, they had a look that was also synonymous with some bands that couldn't hold a candle to them.
True.
All right. It would not be a live video if I was not bringing up my second favorite band of all time, Judas Priest. And they have quite a few live albums to go through. But I picked one that I was pretty sure you guys wouldn't pick because I figured I was the only one that had a copy of it. It came out on Record Store Day. I thought I missed out on my chance to get it. And then I happened to be in my hometown a while back and was able to actually find a copy, and there was no chance I was leaving that behind. Everybody knows about the very infamous 82 Memphis show. Well, on that same tour, they also recorded from Atlanta.
Yeah, good score there.
Yeah.
The cover is awesome because even though the concert was from 82, they've collaged all the album covers. And you probably can't see it from here. But I mean, you've got like Angel of Retribution, Turbo, Defenders of the Faith, all on here. And then essentially the track listing is like the 82 Vengeance show, which would make sense because it's the same tour. All the same songs. Production is actually really good on this. And it's growing on me as a could be creeper in the top 10 live albums like of all time for me.
Maybe they made the collage like that because they're going to put more out from that era, just make different colors. You never know.
I don't know. If they do, I will buy them all.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had grabbed that one. As I did go out for that Record Store Day, but they did not. They either didn't have it at the place I went to, or by the time I got through, it was gone.
Well, anything, I wasn't even going for that. I was going for the Flotsam and Jetsam High reissue. They already sold it, and then just happened to see that they had Black Sabbath Eternal Idol reissue. So I snatched that, and I happened to see this like high up on the wall, and I was like, I only got enough one for one, and I can't really reach that one, so I'm just going to keep the one I had, and was going to just grit my teeth about it the whole day.
And it was killing you.
It was. It was.
Yeah. I've done that many times. I've done it not just on the store, but I look over stuff like, "I'll wait," and then I look back on it, it's gone. I'm like, I should have got it.
I actually think I do still have the DVD that came in the Mythology box set of that Vengeance show,
Yeah, yeah,
that Memphis show.
yeah, I have that too.
All right, next up for me, it wouldn't be an album share out here if I didn't include at least one Christian band, but it was kind of tough. Not a whole lot of live albums, even though, well, this one I'm going to show, there have been a few that have been recently put out by Retroactive, but out of those, I had to go with Sacred Warrior. So this is live at Cornerstone Fest 2001. And unlike the Deliverance was actually 2 records, a little longer set. This one's just 1. But if we take out the intro, there is 11 tracks. But what I love about this is that it's got my favorite song from them, Day by Day. I know that song. It was actually a demo that they did sometime in the 2000s. I don't remember the exact year, but it only showed up on the re-release of Rebellion, which was their first album. They had re-released it with a different album cover, not necessarily, well, the original album cover had the 2 guitar players on the cover. I don't know that the repress cover was any better than that, but it had a few, I think 3 tracks, 3 demos, and they've got a live version of it on here. Ray Parra is just fantastic. I've seen those guys now 3 times, and he's up there with Dio and Bruce Dickinson and Jeff Tate, in my opinion. Just a great guy, but also fantastic lyricist and a great singer.
Cool. Next one is from 2000, nothing else from June 1994, and it's with the current singer for Uriah Heep and Spellbinder. I get a glare or something. Yeah, yeah. So this is Get Good. I mean, I forgot. I'm trying to look at the singer's name. I always forgot his name. I always forget his name. The new guy. He's not even new anymore since 1994. He's been in a band for freaking 30 years already. But he got all the classic Stealing, The Wizard, Gypsy, Look at Yourself, Easy Living. Good stuff. He does a good job singing the old stuff too from the David Byron era. Good stuff though. Love Uriah Heep. I need a few more albums from that era, and it's hard. Those albums are really hard to find. The ones with him. I have like 5. I need like 5 more, and I was like, they're like really expensive. I just can't find it. I'm not spending like $80 on a CD, But little by little, picking them up. So
I picked up a copy of their first live album on vinyl for like $2 when I first started collecting a few years ago.
Can't beat that.
All right, let's bring it up a little bit heavier. Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. The only problem with this album is not enough songs. But they had they only had like 4 albums out at the time.
You got to get this one then, because I think it's like six CDs, 5 or 6.
They've got these new releases within the last 3-4 years where they've had different stuff that they've come out. They've just been hella expensive each one.
Yeah.
So I think I got this off of Amazon, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Metropolis, The Hammer, Iron Horse, No Class, Overkill, We Are the Road Crew, Capricorn, Bomber, and of course Motorhead. Like I said, if it would have been like these 5 more tracks, to me it would be even better. But sometimes you just got to take what you got.
Yeah, I had thought about that one.
Yeah, me too.
There were a bunch of, the givens. That was one that, yeah. I mean, if I really had to narrow down to like top 10, that one would definitely be in the mix. So, But yeah, like I said earlier, trying to pull in some other ones that maybe wouldn't always be in the top 10. So the next one originally came out on DVD, which I have here, and then it was later, a couple of years later, I think they put it out on CD and vinyl. And I've never seen this band live, but I've listened to them since their third studio album, and I've pretty much stuck with them even through their more progressive music. Of course, I love progressive music, so I wasn't somebody who dropped off, where I'm sure a lot of the fans did. But Opeth, and this is Lamentations live at Shepherd's Bush Empire, 2003, and they were touring their dual albums, Deliverance and Damnation, which one was, their usual death metal, and the other one was more acoustic prog, which I loved it because you actually had more of the actual singing, and I love the death, but it just showed a different side of the band. And this, let's see, 14 tracks, has a documentary about Deliverance and Damnation, and just, so yeah, when Tim, we were talking earlier about, I mentioned I didn't have a lot of live just metal. Of course, got Iron Maiden, and I've got some of the Judas Priest, but so many of the bands, or it's not necessarily top 10 material. And I thought, oh, that Opeth would have been great, but I don't have that on CD or record. But yeah, when we agreed that we could pull in some DVDs, this one was a no-brainer for me.
I learned that with Opeth, you just gotta go in expecting nothing. That way, you're not disappointed.
You never know what you're gonna get.
You just never know what the direction's gonna be, and 9 times out of 10, they never say anything about what it's gonna be like before it gets released.
Yeah. And another band they've changed over had so many different band members that's part of it. He may, Michael may get one or two new members in, and that can change, potentially change the sound of the next album.
Or usually in some interview about what's the new album sound like? Sounds like Opeth. Really? Thanks a lot.
That's funny.
Thanks a lot. That helps. Not.
That's funny. All right, my next one is a live album that's only got 4 songs, because it's one of those bands that did that whole jam thing. But it is The Road That Goes Ever On from Mountain. Absolutely love Leslie West. Love his tone. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. I was so sad when he passed away, and I got to see him and I got to meet him, shake his hand. That's right. He had like both his legs amputated, but he was in great spirits. Just a really cool dude.
Yeah.
So, but this has only got Long Red, Waiting to Take You Away, Crossroader, and Nantucket Sleigh Ride. That's all it's on here. But again, they jam it out like that those bands did back then.
Nantucket Sleigh Ride is one of the 2 Mountain albums that I actually do have.
I've got 3. 3 of them on CD, and then Nantucket I've got on vinyl. Flower of Evil, which I think was their 3rd release, if I remember correctly, is half studio and then half live.
Yep.
Yeah, great band, great leadman.
All right, why don't we make it even more brutal with this one? And it fits because this guy Pat, his death anniversary just like a couple of days ago.
You're
yeah, that's cool.
In LA.
Yeah.
Fantastic double album. I mean, The Philosopher, Spirit Crusher, Trapped in a Corner, Scavenger of Human Sorrow, Crystal Mountain, my personal favorite death song. Flesh and the Power It Holds, Zero Tolerance, Zombie Ritual, Suicide Machine, Together as One, Empty Words, Symbolic, and then you finish everything off with Pull the Plug. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's not ultra flashy. It's just the band on stage. It's not like it was this big production. And yeah,
Right.
they were touring. I believe they were. They were touring the Sound of Perseverance. So that was at the end of the band's, the end of their career.
Yeah.
But not flashy. But yeah, just to be able to see Chuck, because I never got to see them live. I was so thankful that Nuclear Blast put that out and was able to see them and just watch him tear it up on stage.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
haven't seen that one.
sporting. I wore my Chuck shirt yesterday, so that was another no-brainer for me.
I got a Chuck. Let's see if I can make it where you can see it all better. I got a Chuck poster that came in one of my Metalhead boxes.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's a band I would love to be able to get more of their demo stuff. I know there was, tons of cassette tapes, and I know that, the bootleggers have taken those and put them on vinyl, but they disappear pretty quickly when they show up online.
Yep.
I did get the Mantis, and that was released officially through Relapse.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would love to get more. All right. Well, Death was my next one, so I'm going to move on to, and this will be totally different than Death. Government Mule.
Wow.
Yep. Totally different.
With a little help from our friends, which was released in some other versions, but I remember I got this in Florida at Specs Music, and I don't think I've ever seen it since. But it's got the metal binding. It's 4 discs, and it is it's a New Year's Eve show with Warren Haynes and Government Mule will do hours and hours of performing on New Year's. They'll start before New Year's and they can play until like 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'm not sure if this is actually the full show, but it is 4 CDs packed with music, and it's back when Alan Woody was still in the band. So I think they were touring on their 3rd or 4th studio album. Came with a So On patch, which I left in there, and just tons of guests that they had play. And I've been a big fan of this band. I got to see them on their first tour in Ybor City, Tampa. I was going to school over there and went to a little bar in Ybor City, and I think I had their studio album and I had Warren Haynes' first solo album, and I got to meet the band, got to get signatures, and so yeah, I got this. I was loving it.
Cool.
Really great live concert.
I only have the first 3 albums. I never bought anything after that. So if you could recommend anything else after that.
Yeah, I mean, I love all of their stuff, but if you got their first 3, you definitely want to go on to the 4th one. Get that. They did do when Alan died, they did two double CDs where they brought in some other bassists.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, some of it's cover songs, a lot of it is originals. They had, I can't remember his name, but the bassist from Cream and
Jack Bruce.
Yes, Jack Bruce and Les Claypool, and you get this variety. They're kind of whoever the bassist was, they really tried to match him up with their style of music, but in obviously Government Mule, kind of headspace. So those are really interesting, fun. They've got 2 studios, double CDs, and then they did a live. They've got a live that I think was, I don't know, 2 or 3 CDs where they brought in some of those musicians for the live concert. George, I'll send you the names of those.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Yep. And I'm heading down to Florida, and I'm gonna hit a music store that I go to. So if I see them in the CD section, I'll pick them up for you.
Oh, appreciate that. That's cool. Well, I guess I'm next. All right, this one of my wife's friends actually gave it to me because she didn't want it, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'll take it. I'll do it, see what it's like. And then I was like, wow, this is better than I really thought it was going to be. And it's actually signed by him too, and it's Paul Rogers, Free Spirit, all three songs, and done really well. Like this is excellent. Paul Rogers never lost a step with his vocals. Oh, this is 2018, which is that's a while ago, not that long ago, but
Hmm.
still a great live set. I was just surprised like I liked it this much because I was like, I like some free stuff. I have like a best of and another album. And I'm like, this is really good though. So if you're a free fan out there, definitely recommend this one.
Yeah,
So
he's a great vocalist. Whether it's Bad Company, I
mhm.
never heard any of his stuff when he was with Queen, but I'm sure he did fantastic with them too.
Yeah,
So I have two legendary, in my opinion, live albums from the Scorpions, and I chose the later one because it's really my favorite period of the band. Worldwide Live,
oh,
1985. I
almost
do
picked
have
that one.
cocaine tapes as well. I just like this era of Scorpions more. It's heavier and two disc set, gatefold.
Nice.
I'm not even go through the track listing; it'll take forever. Um, but
It's a great
one
set list.
one of their live albums I would love to get a copy of. What was it called? Oh man, I want to say it was called Acoustica or something. The acoustic album they did, like kind of like an unplugged live album
Yeah,
they did.
yeah. I've never heard that one, but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's really good. And to hear them do an acoustic version of the Zoo, which I didn't necessarily think was really possible, it sounded great.
Love the
I didn't pick
Scorpions.
it, but did you guys ever listen to heard this one with the symphony?
No, I
Now,
remember when that came out.
It's really done well. Really fits the band. So it's Berliner Philharmoniker, Moment of Glory. So that's
Yeah.
with the Scorpions. So definitely, it's a weird cover with the dinosaur with the thing, but
yeah,
it's
I
really I was
actually,
like it's really good though.
I actually had that downloaded on my iPod at one point
Oh yeah, cool.
back in the days when that was the new thing.
And that was the new thing. True.
All right, another DVD for me, and this is another one that has been released on CD and vinyl after the fact. Um, but this is a band that I remember listening to in the 80s. Of course, I got into them when they were more in their poppy 80s influence. It was creeping into so many of the other bands, but another prog band. This is another symphonic, so we got the band with the orchestra in the background. Definitely meshes very well. I've got a lot of live stuff from them. Yes Songs is their 80s, I guess mid 70s, mid to late 70s album that was really popular, and it's great. But if I had to tell somebody, okay, what live album from Yes do you need to see? It's the symphonic. It doesn't have Rick Wakeman in it, so the purists that have to have all of the original members, which you really can't have all the original members because even during Fragile and some of their Relayer, at that point they already had different players coming in and out of the band. But Alan White, the drummer, who has since passed away, unbelievable. I mean, his technical drumming. Chris Squire was still alive. He was in the band. Steve Howe. So it was really those four guys. There was a keyboardist, but very minimal with the keyboards because with the symphony, they didn't need that. But I remember my father listened to some of the 70s stuff, and I got him back into the band with this. Once he saw this,
Cool.
it was kind of a no-brainer for him, and he started picking up everything that they had released in between this and the 70s stuff. Big Yes
Cool.
fan.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into a lot of Yes stuff. I was never into them that much, but I started getting like earlier albums. I'm like, really good stuff.
John
So
Anderson, there's nobody. I mean, I'm sure we can name Lemmy. Nobody sounded like Lemmy. But John Anderson, as far as vocals, I mean, I can understand if somebody doesn't like him, but there's nobody that sounds like him. Even, the other guys that they've brought in, they try their best, but you can't imitate John Anderson.
yeah, cool. All right, I just want to go back to the metal a little bit. This one, and I'm going to go with Past and Present Live from Anvil.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. So,
That's
I mean,
the first Anvil I picked up.
yeah, that's the first one I picked as well. I could find at the time. It's hard to find somebody else back in the '90s. They weren't really out there, because just the way it was. But I mean, I love the Concrete Jungle, the opening song there. Winged Assassins, 666, Mothra. Great stuff though. Original band basically, and firing all cylinders on his concert too.
Yeah, I just picked up this one from Ron, which I love it because it has a hype sticker on it. So
that's cool. Yeah. I got that one too. Excellent one.
We got to see Anvil. I want to say a couple of years ago, here locally. There's like nobody there, but it didn't matter because they still played their ass off and put on an Anvil type experience. I'll say that Priest was the best show I've ever been to, but I think Anvil was the best experience I probably ever had at a concert.
Cool.
I'm going to shift to the new wave of British heavy metal, and please don't insult me too bad on the cover of this because I didn't do this to it. It's how it was when I got it. Raven live at the Inferno.
Yeah, great album.
That's a great live album.
What year did this thing come out? 80 something. I think it was right after. Let's see. I don't see a year, but
I'm gonna guess that one was 84, 83 or 84.
I'm thinking 84 too. You've got Take Control, Mind Over Metal, Crash Bang, Rock So You Drop Fast to the Speed of Light, All for One, Forbidden Planet, Star Wars, Tyrant of the Airwaves. Just, awesome 2-disc set.
Excellent.
Very cool. All right, the next one. This one takes me back to my pre-vocal days. So I was jamming out to this album before I could even talk. It's probably just walking. And so if it wasn't for my parents telling me how much I used to love this album, and I guess once I became a teenager and starting to dig into my father's collection of records, I can remember going to my uncle's house, and he had some studio albums from the same artist, and he let me borrow a few, brought them home, and I was like, yeah, I like this stuff. It was around the same time I was starting to get into the Beatles and the Stones, and I will forever love this album. I mean, just knowing that I was jamming out to it as an infant, and, there's a reason why it sold as many copies. I mean, Peter's definitely not like the biggest rocker out there. He's not Eric Clapton, and he's but if you like him, you like him. And the cover tracks that he does, it's fun 70s music. I would say, like people that listen to Cheap Trick. I was like, if you like Cheap Trick, you can get into Peter Frampton too. And he still tours. The guy's a fantastic guitar player. Just, super down to earth and just good player, good musician.
My wife and I saw him live right before COVID hit. And it was really good. I mean, it's funny because it was the quietest concert I've ever been to. Because it was like no one's like cheering. They're cheering, but it's really quiet. You can hear a pin drop. I was like, yeah. It's like, but it's funny. The last two concerts I saw before COVID was Peter Frampton and then Cannibal Corpse. So you couldn't get any different.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there was a different vibe at Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, just a little bit. There was none of this going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hair
But
whipping
that's
around.
a good choice. Yeah, that's fun. All right. We have two more to go, right?
Yep.
Okay. My next one is my favorite. One of the other great guitar player, is Ted Nugent, double live Gonzo with just
Double live
Ted's a freaking maniac. Back in the day, he could really just rip it up. And I've seen him live too. I think a couple years before COVID too, and he was still good live.
Yeah, I saw him.
Even again, people get turned off with his political stuff. But when he does it for fun. He just talks for a couple minutes and he stops. He doesn't overdo it and sit there and preach to you like some of them do, like they preach to you in a concert. Just play your song. He does it, but then he just plays the songs. But this one's really a really great double live set here.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Great White Buffalo song and Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. It still makes you laugh that Teddy put that out as a freaking single. Yank me, crank me. I mean, I think it's too funny, but that's Ted for you. But yeah, I had to put that one on there.
Well, I was gonna have that one next, so I'll just skip to. We'll go back with some more. We'll go back and do some more brutality. And live albums for death metal bands aren't always the best. It's not usually a production standpoint. It's more like from the vocal standpoint. If the vocals haven't been recorded properly, but Suffocation got it right on their last live stint with original singer Frank Mullen when they did live in North America. This was released in, I think, 21. Yeah, 21 Nuclear Blast Records. This is on the 2018 tour, though. Before they would usher in the new vocalist, who was on the latest album they put out.
Yep.
Fantastic set list. You got Thrones of Blood, Effigy, The Forgotten, Funeral Obsession, Pierced from Within, Dismal Dream, Jesus Wept, Breeding the Spawn, Catatonia, Souls to Deny, Infecting the Crypts. It's just among some of the classics that they put together on this album.
Long Island Boys.
Yep.
Yeah. Never got to see them in the day, but those early albums are classic metal.
They were touring with Morbid Angel and somebody else, and they were coming here. And I don't remember if it just didn't happen or if I didn't just get to go. But somewhere along the tour, Morbid Angel had to drop out, and David Benson's band I Am Morbid stepped in some of those spots. So in any case, you basically get Morbid Angel because, to me, nothing to take away from Steve Tucker, but David Benson is Morbid Angel in my opinion.
Cool.
All right, so this will second to last one. Gonna stick with the non-metal stuff here. I've been listening to a lot of blues stuff, but I've been going back to the earlier 50s and 60s. But that kind of got me also getting back into some of the more electric blues, and pulled out a biography that I had on this artist and put in maybe a week or so ago, put in one of the studio albums. It had been years since I'd listened to him, and it just came back like a rush of just how fantastic this guy was. And what I love about this live album is that you get the same venue, as far as I know, same country, but looking at a few different, you got two different sets here, 1982 and 1985 from Stevie Ray Vaughan. And this is live at Montrose. And he was nervous as all heck with the 1982. He had never been there before. It's a great performance. So you got the CD, you got the live the DVD version, so you can actually see the band perform. But then when it came back 3 years later, it was unbelievable. And I don't think he had gone through rehab yet. Maybe he wasn't strung out, but I think heroin, he was still on the junk, but amazing difference. And he had come into his own, and the band had, and yeah, both great, really great live performances. But the second one, and also the second one had Johnny Copeland sit in on some of the tracks. So he had a little, one of the earlier blues guys sit in. So I know some people would say he was just a copycat for Hendrix, but I love Hendrix too. But Stevie Ray, it helped keep, or maybe not keep blues alive, kind of relit the fuse, and definitely revitalized the blues during the 80s and 90s.
Cool. Oh, my last one. I could have picked this monster.
Yes.
But I didn't because it's talked about too many times. But I showed up. I know you showed your Destroyer one you got, which is pretty cool. I never got that one. But I picked this one. I never heard anyone talk about this one. But maybe it's not really, it's a live album, but it's from different, the songs are from different points in time. It's Motley Crue, Entertainment or Death. Again, it's all taken from their career, from different periods in their things. And it's got, what do you call it? The 21 songs on it. So they go through all the whole thing. Looks to Kill, Knock 'em Dead Kid, Too Young to Fall in Love, Live Wire, Merry Go Round, which I never heard live before.
Aren't they basically
Starry Eyes?
Aren't they basically the track listing? Isn't it pretty much in chronological order from when the records were released? Because I used to have that, and I think it was like.
No, it doesn't do chronological because it starts off with Looks to Kill and then goes to Knock 'em Dead Kid, Too Young to Fall in Love, Live Wire. Yeah. But it goes through the whole thing, Dr. Feelgood, Wild Side. But it's just like I said, some different points in time, but no one's ever talked about it. It's done. It's good live. I mean, does Vince have a great voice? No. But it works for the time.
No,
it works for the time.
That is my only complaint.
He had a better voice then than he does, obviously, now.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
That has been my only complaint on any Motley Crue live album has been, I don't know if he has never used ear monitors. I know there was sometime recently where he said he realizes that it doesn't actually help his voice to drink a bottle of wine before you go on stage. Well, no duh.
Yeah, really.
I mean, everybody else is super tight, and he doesn't do it. But the funny thing is, I saw him in 2020 with Megadeth, and he actually sounded fine. The one time I actually saw him live. I used to have that double CD, and I remember listening to this thing going like, what is Vincent's problem? Is he, because I know that sometimes you can have like technical issues because somebody like, well, I heard him on this tour and he sounded like crap with somebody else, but well, I heard him on this tour and he sounded fantastic. So I'm like, that's one of those situations where maybe they could have done like an Unleashed in the East and re-recorded the vocals, and I wouldn't have been mad about it.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very, very true.
I've never gotten any of their live albums, but I did get to see them, I don't know, sometime in the early 2000s, and it was a good show. I didn't walk away from it feeling cheated. I think Cheap Trick opened up for them, and I thought, wasn't super familiar with all their music at the time, but I thought Crue was good.
All right. Since you killed me with the Nugent earlier, I figured I'd reach in for the old bag of tricks and grab a different Nugent. One I actually was originally going to do, but I wasn't. I thought, well, maybe they won't pull it. So I think I got the background information on this one correctly. It's Intensities in 10 Cities. And I want to say that every single one of these songs had not been previously released when they did these live. So you got Put Up or Shut Up, Spontaneous Combustion, My Love Is Like a Tire Iron, Jailbait, I'm a Predator, probably not his best song title. Hazel Roll,
Yeah.
the Flying Land of a Thousand Dances, the TNT Overture, and I Take No Prisoners. So I thought that was a really good concept to do for a live album, putting out songs that had never been released before, because that's a huge gamble, put out a live album of songs nobody had heard before unless you were at those shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was it's definitely different, but still fantastic in its own way. It's not double Gonzo live, but it is still good in its own right.
No, but the only thing with that one is the lyrics are, most of them are just awful. I mean, awful. Listen to the lyrics of Jailbait. I'm like, you could not put that out today.
98%
Go
of Ted
read them.
Nugent.
Read it. Just read the lyrics to that song alone. You're like, wow.
90,
You're like, just, wow. Really? I'm like, it's just crazy.
I would say 98% of 70s and 80s lyrics could not be put out today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I was listening to Black Oak, Arkansas earlier, and my wife heard me say, "Oh, it's time to get X-rated." I was putting on that album, and she was like, "You're not posting that on your Facebook, are you?" I was like, "Well, yeah." And she was like, "Don't do it on your personal one." She's like, "You don't need somebody from the school board wondering what you're putting on." And yes, a lot of the songs did have to do with the typical nothing that you wouldn't get from the Scorpions or Aerosmith. There's songs. But the cover and just the title, I was like, okay, I'll
I mean, Christine 16 couldn't come out today.
Yeah.
No, it's another one.
Going Blind damn sure couldn't come out today.
Yeah.
But so the one thing I'll say about some of those songs, maybe not so much Going Blind, and I'm not going to include Ted Nugent in this category because we already kind of know what his history was. But I think some of those songs about younger girls are coming from a younger man's perspective.
Well, yeah.
I think, there was, like, when I was in high school, there was this chick. I was 14. She was 16, But when you're a grown-up singing this song about a 16-year-old, it has the wrong look. But also at the same time, up until the last 50 years or so, 16 wasn't really looked at as still being a child. It's only been in the latter part of the last century that it's become because a lot of the age of consent was like 14.
Well, and the other thing to think about is a lot of those guys. So you take Kiss, some of these 16-year-olds probably were passing themselves off for 25-year-olds. They were all dolled up and they were dressing provocatively, and they might not be able to tell the difference between somebody who was 25 and 16 years old. And so
you can't do it now.
Yeah,
you can't do it now. I mean, like, I see this. I swear to God, I thought this one girl was like 18 and she was 11. My own daughter, who will be 16 this month, was 11 years old and damn near already my height. And somebody thought I was sitting next to another woman in church other than my wife.
Yep.
Until they got a good look and saw that it was my daughter and they recognized her. So, I think cultural context has to be looked at in a lot of instances, but Ted Nugent marrying a 13-year-old or whatever she was at the time doesn't look good in any era, honestly.
No.
Outside of maybe the 1800s.
Well, yeah, because the 1800s, they got married at 13, 14, because they were dead by 35.
Yeah, true.
Right, yeah. I mean,
that's the way it was. It was normal. Go look at Little House on the Prairie.
Well, I mean, essentially, once a girl started ovulating, she was a woman. I mean, because how many times do we even say it now when, our daughters or nieces or whatever, get that first time for the first time and somebody's vote, now you're a woman. Well, what does that really mean? Well, back then that meant you're a woman and you're capable to do things you're capable to do, in, lack of better saying. So it's only been recent where you've had a lot of things I mean, think about just in the last 30 years, what is now considered child abuse was just considered discipline for us.
Things are different. Things are different.
You could get smacked across the hallway, and child services were like, "Well, you shouldn't have mouthed off."
Different.
They're
now.
not gonna help you. They're gonna insult you.
Yeah.
Now they'll put you on a throne and have a parade for you as they take you out of the house.
They're way
All
off topic now.
Big drum roll for my
I'm not endorsing child abuse. I promise.
All right, guys, my number 15. I could go with my number 1 favorite live album, but I've already mentioned it probably numerous times in other videos. So yeah, if I were going that route, it would be Live After Death. I do have that one. I've got 2 CDs. At one point, I had 2 records. I gave one to somebody else. I love that album, and but yeah, that one was too obvious, so I went with another one from about the same, well, maybe a few years later, but an album where I felt like the live tracks blew away the studio versions, and Dokken Beast from the East.
Cool.
So, love Dokken. Love, I appreciate their earlier stuff. First album is okay. Second album is great. Third album is a little maybe too glossy. Back for the Attack, I loved first time I heard that. But the live versions are where to go. George is on fire on this album, and just a great track list. And then it was kind of fun having again, I like the live albums where they give you that little freebie at the end and you get a studio. And so Walk Away, another ballad, but not terrible. And again, if you when I first got, I think I got the CD, the original CD I got from Columbia House. It was a single, and down at the bottom of the back it said, I think it was 3 tracks that were left off. And then, so it wasn't until I got my hands on the gatefold double vinyl that you got to have the full track listing. So awesome. It doesn't have numbers on there, so I'm not sure how many it is total, but it's well over 10 tracks, probably 14 or 15.
Did you ever listen to the one they put out in 1999 after the original Slate out? I think it was Live at the Sun.
Yep. I do have. I believe I have. Let me just pull up, because something. I think that was another one done in Japan. Let's see, Live from the Sun.
Yeah,
Live from the Sun, and then I also have the one Live Night, which was that one was acoustic. So yeah, cool. Yeah, they're all their live stuff. If it's got George Lynch, it's gonna rock.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting anything he puts out these days, because Don's voice is basically done.
Yeah, it's been a number of years since I've gotten anything new from the band. So that's it. 15, unless there was anything else that you guys, any honorable mentions. I know we all had to pull out some of our extras.
I didn't think of
anything. Don't have anybody currently on. I think no. Now somebody just popped on. But I don't think we had any more than one person at a time.
It's Sunday night. They're watching football.
Yeah. And some of those other videos that we've done live, we've gotten some good numbers. Folks just go back and watch them later on.
There's probably Christmas programs at church going on and stuff too. So
yeah. I mean, it's
just depends on a day a week you do it too. So
that's the thing about the internet. They can come back and look at any time.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Cool.
Well,
that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Live stuff's always good to talk about.
I thought you were gonna go with the winter theme, but the live was a good one. It was easy to go through the clock.
Yeah. That's why I figured. I'm like, I think live would be easier because that shouldn't take a lot of thinking power. Winter, you're gonna be like, okay, which band has that one song or that one album or the, you know,
Yeah, that's the first thing I think is Immortal.
Yeah.
yeah, or
First thing I thought of was Immortal.
any black metal band from Norway.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'd be a good one in January or February when we're all snowed in.
You guys might be. We'll just get freezing rain and still expected to drive in it.
Mm.
That's what my opinion. That's worse than snow.
That is worse than snow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just freezes. Yeah. Cool.
All right, guys. I think I can end the stream and not bump us all off like I did last week or last time with Tim. If this works the way it does.
If you do, thanks for having me on. How's that? Just in case.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it all worked out this time that we were.
That's cool. Yeah.
On.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good night to anybody who's watching later. Of course, it'll probably take 3 or 4 hours for this to load up, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and we all say good night.
Good night.
And may all your dreams come true.